Hello, my name is Laurie Sterling, and I'm here to talk to you about some concerns I have that are happening right now in the United States of America. I grew up in this great country, and I never thought that a time would come when I would have to fight for my freedoms. And that is exactly what is happening. And frankly, I've been in a state of shock over it for the last few years uh, since the regime of Barack Hussein Obama and his attempt to subvert our Constitution. He's done this primarily through the use of executive orders. Now, one of the main ways that they are accomplishing their goals is to subvert our Constitution and take away our First Amendment rights. And the main weapon that they use to destroy free speech is political correctness. Now, that may sound nice to you, to be politically correct, but really it's just a code word for a way to silence you. If you agree with their agenda, then you're okay. But everything that's supposed to be, quote, politically correct somehow doesn't fit with their agenda. And the main words that they use, the types of language that they use in this, quote, political correct environment are words like racist, Islamophobe, homophobe, teabagger, and many others. And what happens is that people that are simply looking out for the Constitution and their freedom of speech and their rights are labeled these things, and then they are afraid to speak out because they're afraid, oh, I don't want to be a homophobe or an Islamophobe or any kind of phobe, and I don't want to be a racist. Well, folks, I think that we've come further than that in America to realize that we're not racist. We have a black president, and that's wonderful. I don't have a problem with any of that. I don't have a problem with a Muslim that wants to be president if he in fact is a Muslim. I don't have a problem with any other religions, but what I do have a problem is with people that want to kill me. With people that think that they are going to take over our way of life and impose their way of life on us through Sharia law. Now, it's very disturbing to me the way the president has handled the recent terrorist attacks in Benghazi. It is very concerning to me that, first of all, our ambassador and Navy SEALs were not protected on September 11th. There was no protection, and this man knew that he was in trouble. He wrote it in his journal, and he sent his cohorts sent messages on the internet that they were in trouble. So this is gross negligence on the part of this administration. What is more concerning is that they made it about a movie so that we will have our freedoms of speech suppressed, and that we will fear speaking out against Islam. And yeah, it's kind of scary when people are telling you that they'll kill you if you speak out against them. But folks, silence in the face of evil is in itself evil. And they do want to impose Sharia law, and they want a global caliphate. Now, this president, by all accounts, has been favorable to Islam over all other religions. And our First Amendment says that Congress shall respect no religion. But Obama is respecting Islam above other religions by using code words that you may not even be aware of. But in the Muslim religion, they are very much aware of these words. There is a process called dimitude. It's spelled DHIMMITUDE. And if you Google it and research it, you'll see that we are entering into dimitude, which is submission to Sharia law. And this is being done by certain code words, apologies, that the president and Hillary Clinton are using. And one example of this is to say the Prophet Muhammad, which in Islam means, when you say the Prophet Muhammad as though it is a title, you are saying, as far as the Islamic law says, you are saying that Allah is God and that He's the only way, that Allah is God and there is no other. And so it is putting our country in submission to Islam, and that is the message that they get. And when we apologize to them and give them messages, we're saying we're weak. And we are telling our people, this president is telling our people, the United States citizens, that we don't have a right to speak out against people who want to kill us. Now, I don't have a problem with Islam. Like I said, anybody that wants to practice their religion is free to do so in the United States of America under the First Amendment. But they don't have a right to kill us. They don't have a right to subvert our rights as women. And they don't have a right to subvert anybody's rights and put us under their way of life. And that's what a lot of people do not understand about Islam, is that it is not just a religion, although they use religion to control their people. Islam is a way of life, and Sharia law is a way of life. And religion is used as a way to keep their people in check and to take away their rights and to give themselves power. So, it is very disturbing to me, the patterns that I see this president using in saying the prophet, in apologizing for a movie, when we all know it wasn't a movie that caused this. And if it was, even if it was, which we know it's not, we don't need to apologize for freedom of speech. That is our American value, and it is our right given by God. So, President Obama actually is trying to get passed anti-blasphemy laws in the United Nations, which would make it illegal to say anything against Islam, and that would include saying that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and the only way to heaven. So it would make it illegal to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. You need to be aware of this, people. You need to wake up. And I'm sorry to be blunt, but I need to be. As an American citizen, I uphold the Constitution of the United States, and I have to expose evil, because when you don't expose evil, you are a part of it. You are an accessory to it. So, I'm exposing this for what it is. Now, we've always been an ally with Israel, a great ally with Israel. And Obama has turned his back on Israel, and he refused to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. He snubbed him. He threw Israel under the bus. They are our greatest ally in the Middle East. But what did he do when he first became president? He went to Egypt. He backed up this Arab Spring, which was a disaster, and put the Muslim Brotherhood in charge, which are not for freedom. It's going to bring back just all kinds of violence towards women, take away their rights. Gays have no rights in these Muslim Brotherhood-run countries. We now have jihadi flags flying over our embassies in several countries, and this president says nothing. The day of the attacks on 9/11, he went to Las Vegas. We've had 3 terrorist attacks since this president that I know of. Since this president has been in office, the Fort Hood shootings, which he's calling workplace violence, the murders in Little Rock of our soldiers, and now we've had this murder of our ambassador and the Navy SEALs in Benghazi, and that is clearly a terrorist attack taking place on 9/11, and our president says, oh, what do I do when we're attacked on 9/11? I'm going to Disneyland. Oh, I mean Las Vegas, to raise money for my campaign. That is so extremely disturbing to me. And the fact that he was just silent when all this was going on. A president should be addressing the nation every day while our embassies are on fire, while they're saying death to America and burning our flags and the Israeli flag. The president should be addressing the nation every day, reassuring the nation that we will not take this violence against America. We won't take these threats, but no, he's on a campaign trail, letting his cohorts do the speaking for him, and they are lying to us about what happened, plain and simple. And that is a fact. So it's very concerning, America, that our freedom of speech is being gradually taken away. They've recently arrested Christians for speaking out, for very peacefully protesting at the White House. This is unheard of. But all I can think of is that there was an executive order passed saying that if you're close to the Secret Service, you can't speak. So there's our rights being taken away. There's also the National Defense Authorization Act, which was signed into law by this president and authored by John McCain. And it says that if the government suspects you at all for any kind of terrorism, they can just come and arrest you, take you away. There's no more, indefinitely detain you with no rights to due process. This is so unconstitutional. It's just, and the fact that Nancy Pelosi and others have said that it's the Tea Party that are the terrorists, that's very concerning. So, to be marginalized because we stand up for our rights as Americans is just unacceptable. And I want to send a message to you, Mr. President, that you won't be getting my vote. And that I think that your activities are anti-American. And I think that you need to be tried for your actions against the American people. And it saddens me greatly that there are many Americans that call themselves Democrats, that stand up, they think they stand for the Constitution, but yet they're very silent on these issues about their own freedoms of speech being taken away. Where are you, ACLU? Where are you when women are being stoned all over the Middle East, when gays are being killed? These people are anti-women, anti-gay, and anti-Christian. And they're killing Christians all over the world. They're crucifying Christians. And you people, you're silent. And I want to know, where's the Jewish population when the president is turning his back on Israel? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Hollywood, when the president arrests a filmmaker? Yes, I don't agree with his views. I think what he did was wrong, but he has a right to freedom of speech. I'm not defending what he did. I will defend the most disgusting person like Bill Maher. He has a right to freedom of speech. He has a right to make a film called Religious or something like that mocks Jesus Christ. The person that made the crucifix and put it in urine has a right to do that. It's a disgusting thing in my mind, but we have a right under the First Amendment. And excuse me, and yet this man is in jail. And they're saying it's because of a probation violation. I tend to think that that's not true. So I'm just putting a warning out there that we need to stand up, America.